Hello everybody. So today this tutorial is basically going to be showing you guys how to create a group booking on Carnival Cruise Lines in addition to creating a group booking page on TravelJoy. So this is going to kind of be like a two-part video to show you the entire process from start to end. So go ahead and grab yourself a pen and paper. Be sure to post any questions you may have down in the comment section so I'm able to go back and respond. I really prefer you guys comment versus emailing me or inboxing me so that everyone's able to benefit from the questions that are being asked. So now we're going to start with the Carnival cruise. I already went and got myself logged in to go CCL Navigator. If you're a new agent, you want to make sure you go ahead and register with this supplier. If you're on my team, go ahead and check out that register with suppliers video that's unlisted that I don't have on my YouTube public profile. If you're with another host, go ahead and follow their instructions as far as how to go ahead and get registered for Carnival. Now we're going to go ahead and create our new booking. Once we have our booking number and everything's created, we will revisit our booking by going to the Manage Booking tab at Bookings right here. But for now, we're going to start here. A good rule of thumb would be to look for individual booking and find the sailing that you're looking for and then plug in all of the details here. We don't have any specific thing in mind, so I'm just going to go ahead with September of 2025. Full disclosure, I created this entire booking already, made this video already, but I had some technical difficulties with the internet and the voice and everything was breaking up, so I'm basically just doing this over right now. So the biggest differences with the group type are going to be affinity and open promotion, because holiday sailings basically is self-explanatory. Open promotions you want to do if, let's say, you just want to put a cruise together to promote on social media or to strangers or to family and friends. You're not sure who's going to come. Go ahead and select open promotion. Do affinity if you already have a set group. So that's going to be your church group, your work group, your kids basketball team, anything that kind of has a set number. Go ahead and select that affinity group. So we're going to do open promotion right now because I'm doing Grandma Lucy's 80th birthday party. We're going to be sailing on Sunrise. And we're going to the Eastern Caribbean. And we're leaving out of Miami. And then we're going to select all sailings. We don't just want to see sailings with fun points, and I'll show you later what fun points mean. With Carnival, you have to have a minimum of 8 staterooms to be considered a group. Alright, so initially when I did this cruise that was leaving on September 1st did not have any groups booked. The group that is booked is the one that I created first. But seeing go to booking just means that there are other groups booked, because when you work with a host agency, it means that there are multiple travel agents under the same umbrella booking cruises as well. You don't want to mess with anybody's booking, but I'm going to show you guys how you are able to add a code to your booking so no one can mess with it either. So I'm going to go ahead and select this sailing right here and create another group booking. Now, here's where you're going to put that pin in to lock your group so no one can enter it. My group name is going to be let's say Grandma Lucy's 75th, since I already have one that's the 80th. I don't want to duplicate that. Now you're able to switch between occupancies to see different pricing. So you can switch anything from double, triple, quad, and even with 5 people. I'm gonna, for the sake of the video and time, just do double occupancy to keep it simple. However, once you're able to do double occupancy, you can do any occupancy to be able to add more to your TravelJoy. We're going to go ahead and select our staterooms. Remember, we need 8 to make it a group. So let's start off. I like starting off with 10 rooms blocked. You're going to choose your room. So you see here we have interiors, we have ocean views, we have balconies. So now From my experience, the letter next to these numbers basically mean where they're located on the ship. So A is going to be more towards the front and G towards the back. So I like to be somewhere around the D area in the middle. So I'm going to select 4 interior cabins. Those are popular because of pricing. I'm going to select 2 ocean views. And then I'm going to do 4 balconies because I think those are the ones I push more because those are my personal preference. So now I have 10 to start with, right? Here you're going to see a bunch of different information. Please do yourself a favor, and anything that you see hyperlinked or in blue or in green, click on them so you could better understand how to work this portal. Now, I know if you've been an agent for a long time or you're just becoming a new agent, you've seen other travel agents offer that $25 deposit to be able to book a cruise. This is something that is possible, and I'm going to go a little bit more into detail with that once we get to confirm our group. But we have our 10 cabins. We only need 8 to make it an actual group. What you want to do at this point is make sure that you're getting all of the necessary information needed to take to your Travel Joy. So all of your voyage information, you want to know that what day your ship is, your cruise is sailing, how many days, where it's going. This hyperlink is going to give you your itinerary. This will tell you a little bit more about the sunrise strip. Write down all this important information like your PIN. Put that in a safe place so you know how to access your booking when you get back. Once we confirm this, it's going to generate a booking number, and then you'll be able to access your group using that confirmation number. But this is basically all of the cabins that we already chose. It's going to be 10 of them. You have your rate here. When you click on these, it's going to show you the total rate. NCF means non-commissionable fare. It means that out of the the total rate for the cruise, $119 of it is not commissionable. The balance is commissionable up to 16%. Click all the tabs to see everything. You're going to see your payment guidelines. So it means that everyone needs to have paid their deposit by May 4th to hold their cabins, and full payment is due by June 18th of 2025. Now, these $25 options are good. They're attractive. People like that low payment. Personally, I go straight for the total amount due for the deposit because that's when you're able to berth the cabins. And you'll hear me say berth a lot. Berth basically means you're able to book that cabin, assign it with their names, and assign them to an actual cabin and send them a confirmation once they're booked. The $25 is just a placeholder. I'm not a big fan of it. I want to be able to berth those cabins and send you your confirmation, especially when dealing with clients who are online who are strangers that you don't know. So this complimentary policy right here is basically explaining how many cabins you could get per full fare guest. So there's a policy. I know a lot of agents always hear about getting free cabins for the amount of cabins or people that you book. Carnival is saying for 15 full fare guests, you're able to get 1 cabin, and I know it's usually based on the average cabin type that's booked. So with Carnival, the first 2 guests are full fare. So the 3rd and 4th guests can't be. So basically, you would need up to 8 cabins because 7 cabins are only going to give you 14 full fare guests. You need 8 cabins to be able to get that free cabin. And it's every 8th cabin or every 15 full fare guests. Now, we've read everything. Make sure you read all of your fine print down here. Check out the marketing guidelines and terms and conditions, and then you're going to go ahead and confirm your booking. Alright, here's another good detail up here, the fun points. You want to go ahead and download the fun points to be able to see. Let's go ahead and save that. This PDF basically is going to break down fun points. Let's take a quick look at it. But for the sake of time, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Right? But it's basically going to break down their entire fun point system. It's going to show you how much fun points you get. And I saw at the top that we had 4. So it also shows you what you're able to use your fun points for. based on the days that you get. So you basically could use your fun points to give onboard credit to your guests. You could do upgrades. You could send different things, complimentary gifts to their room based on the amount of fun points that you have. So we had 4 fun points. Our cruise was 5 days, and here for 4 fun points, you could go ahead and gift your clients Carnival robes, right? And then maybe you could do also, let's say you wanted to do with the 5 days, what is this? Premium wine and maybe some Bon Voyage chocolate and champagnes. You could do that because you have 4 points. You get to decide based on the amount of days what you want to gift your clients as well. And you could go ahead and take a look at that. That's basically what this means. And up here is letting you know that you have 0 points selected, options selected, but you have 4 points remaining. So you get assigned by June 18th, and that's the final payment date as well. Now, this part is important because you want to go ahead and get your total cost. This is just showing the total cost if you have all 10 cabins booked. So that's a good place to look. And it's going to be listed on the contract as well to be able to calculate how much your commission is going to be. But you want to click this hyperlink per cabin to get the pricing, the gross pricing for your cruise. Now, I say gross because the cruise rate is only $550, but you also have that non-commissionable fare rate, and you have the miscellaneous charge, which is usually the taxes and port fees. The gross amount is going to be the total amount per guest for this cruise. Now, you'll see a lot of people have this amount on the flyer. However, I think it's best to put this one so the client knows exactly what they're paying up front, and you definitely want to put this one in your Travel Joy to make sure that the client is seeing what the total cost of the trip is going to be. Another important detail here, single occupancy is available at 2% of the fare for all categories. Please note to calculate single fare, you must first combine the cruise fare and non-commissionable fare. So you could really just berth a cabin. I'm going to show you how to do that for one person and go to see how much it is instead of trying to do the calculations yourself. Another thing to bear in mind is solo occupancy has to pay 200% of the deposit. So if the deposit is $150 per person and you have someone booking a cabin by themselves, the deposit is going to be $300. Okay, now you're able to click all of these and see that you want to write down the gross amount because that's what you're going to use when you plug in your pricing in Travel Joy when you're ready to create your booking page. Same thing for the interior. You're just writing everything down, and you're also documenting the cabin types that you chose, right, per description. Now you're able to go through all of these and see all the details, cancellation guidelines. You get all of this for your dashboard when you're ready to create your booking page. Now, once you start making payments, here's where you'll go to make payments. You can modify this group booking. So let's say you've sold all 10 cabins and you want 10 more. Go ahead and modify the booking and add 10 more. You can go ahead and see all your reports. So that's going to be your contracts for the group. Everything is all detailed. You can print that out. Berth guest means that someone's ready to book and we're ready to assign their cabin and pay their deposit and send them their confirmation. And I'm going to do that as the last thing before I get off this page. Search your group bookings here. You could cancel your group booking here. Take a look at your guest list and look at your history to see what has been done on your booking since you started it. Now let's go to the berth guest page. Now, this is also very important. So you're going to use this guest filter to pick how many people you want in the cabin that you're doing. You're able to have guest qualifiers, which will give special pricing if someone is in the military. Interline is going to be what you use as a travel agent to get that special rate. Do not use this to book the rest of your family if you're doing a reunion. Use it to book the cabin that you're in as a travel agent. Seniors over 55 also get discounts. If you put your client's state of residency, that's something that you're going to put on your intake form, and we'll talk about that with the travel side. VIFP Carnival numbers also offer special pricing. So you have people who have casino rates and stuff like that. You want to go ahead and plug those numbers in so they're able to get their discounts based on their ranking within their program. Now, you're birthing a cabin from within your group. This is your group pricing. Now, what a lot of people want to know is, okay, if the group pricing is here, why am I seeing stuff that's lower, right? So the group pricing works out in your favor mostly for if there are any rises in the pricing. So let's say for whatever reason this cruise on Sunrise gets booked up and the whole ship is booked out, your pricing is protected. So your clients have until May 4th to take advantage of these prices. They will never go up, they will never fluctuate or change. Now, if you're birthing a cabin from within your group and you go in and you see, so Carnival's always having some special promotion at any given time. They have early saver all the time. They have, what is this? No one does bonus savings like Carnival. Love the savings sale. This is probably a Valentine's Day thing. So at any given time, you could come in here and find different promotions going on outside of your group that are cheaper, right? You're still able to book the lower cost. Now, I want you to pay attention to the details. Go ahead and read the details of these because some of these have a lot of restrictions. So a lower price is not always the best. Communicate with your client and see what they want to go with. However, personally, I usually go with the early saver, reduced deposit, and extra onboard credit. So I would go ahead and book this starting at $654 versus the $669 that my group is. But if these were higher than my group, I'd go with the cost of my group. No matter what pricing you go with, as long as you're birthing from inside of your group, it's going to be in your group and get the same perks or benefits as the rest of your group. I hope that makes sense. So I could go ahead and select this one because it's cheaper than my group. Right? If anything else was more than my group, I'll just go with the group one because that secures this pricing. Now I'm going to go ahead and select the balcony to go ahead and book. Let's say we're booking Sarah and her husband. Now remember, we selected 8D to begin with. Now you're not restricted to 8D. You could choose anyone you want, but that's just what you have on hold. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the quick quote. Now you have a few options. You could look at it from agent view and you can look at it from guest view. Guest view is what you could email to your guests and they're going to see all of the information and it excludes your commission. Now agent view is going to have the same information, but it's going to list your commission on here. So basically it's going to tell me, where is it? Why am I not seeing my commission? Hold on, y'all. Something ain't right because I'm not seeing my commission. Commission is usually down here where the perks are at, but you could also see the commission listed on the contracts. But that's usually the biggest distinction between what they see and what you see. But it has all the same information. This is really weird. But now I feel like I have to pull up an individual one to see it. Okay. So that would be the main difference. Now you're able to go ahead and select this. Go to the next page, select whatever cabin they want, wherever they want it to be on the ship. And then you're going to go ahead and select and go next to the next page where they're going to allow you to put in the guest name, go ahead and make their deposit and all that good stuff. Now we're going to go back to the group booking page because we need that information to create our booking page on TravelJoy. Now I'm just going all the way back. Now let's go to TravelJoy. So let me show you one that I've done in the past and show you guys what it looks like. Now bear in mind, it looks a little bit different from the desktop. However, When you're on a cell phone, it has the mobile view and everything is all lined up differently, and you'll be able to see that once you get your booking link. So now this is the edit view. We're going to go ahead and hit preview once this loads. This was published over a year ago, so it's not going to be available. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Really simple. You could put pictures in here. I like showing the cabin styles and put a lot of information on there about cancellation policies and documents that are needed. You get all this information. I even put the Carnival FAQs link on here as well, so they could click that. This was done really quick, but you could definitely make this a lot more detailed and a lot more pretty. I'm going to show you guys how to go ahead and do this on your own. We're going to go ahead and hit the Create tab. We're going to create a group. This is going to be and we're going to the Caribbean. So now is where we create the booking page. So you have two options between a group booking page. It's going to be a direct invoice attached to it or supplier invoice. A direct invoice is going to be, let me walk you through the process real quick. With a direct invoice, so let's say Sarah and her husband are ready to book. If you selected this direct group booking page, they're going to go ahead and select the package that they want, put in their information, go to payment. Once Sarah and her husband make the payment for $600 for the interior cabin, Travel Joy is going to go ahead and pull that $600 from their card. And it's going to go right here to group funds. Now, Travel Joy is going to email you as a travel agent and say, hey, Sarah and her husband, they've made a payment and they're ready to book their cruise. Now, you're going to go ahead and open up Sarah and her husband's form and see that they selected the interior cabin, they selected insurance, whatever they selected. And you're going to go ahead on Carnival, go into your group, birth the cabin, and put in all the information that they entered, and Travel Joy is going to give you a temporary card to go ahead and make their payment. Now, you're not seeing Sarah and her husband's card information because they're already paid and Travel Joy is protecting that. Travel Joy is going to give you a temporary Visa card, similar to what you see people use with financing applications like Klarna or Affirm or Afterpay or ZipPay or what's another one? Uplift, right? They give you these temporary cards to make payment. That's how the direct payment works. The pro of the direct payment is the fact that it pulls the funds immediately once they make the payment. So you don't have to worry about anyone, who have auto pay set up and not doing it quickly enough, because sometimes people have auto pays and the money comes off. They want it off quickly before anything else comes off. You don't have to worry about that. The con to direct payments is the fact that Travel Joy charges a fee. I think it's somewhere between 1 to 3% of the cost that's being paid. So that's a con as well. You have to consider, okay, if my client is paying $1,000 on a cruise, are they paying an extra $20, $30 just in processing fees? With the supplier payment, now they're doing the same process, but once you get to the payment part, when they authorize that payment, it's just an authorization. So when Sarah and her husband select authorize make payment, no payment is being drafted from their account. Instead, what they're doing is just authorizing you as a travel agent to go ahead and make the payment on their behalf on Carnival. Now, Travel Joy is still going to email you and say, hey, Sarah and her husband's ready to go ahead and make their payment. You're going to open up the booking, get their booking information. So they want to book the interior, $600. They already paid that. Now, Travel Joy is going to spit out their card information to you. They're going to be like, okay, this is for Sarah and her husband. This is the payment information. You're going to see their American Express card with their CVV number. You're going to see their expiration date. You're going to see their billing address, and you're going to see the name that's on the card. You're going to take all this information and plug it into Carnival to be able to make the payment on their behalf. The pro to the supplier is that there are no fees associated with that. It's just an authorization. And you have that authorization form that's signed to be able to challenge any chargebacks if they try to dispute and say that they did not, authorize you to make this payment on their behalf. The con to it is the fact that unlike the direct payment, it does not pull the money from their card immediately. So I personally prefer the supplier payment option. There is no right or wrong way. You decide what works best for you or your client. Okay, so you have 3 categories. You have the description, the pricing, and the traveler info. The description, I think, would be the lengthier of ones to do. So let's go ahead and knock this out really quick. I like just putting a welcome in here. Say something like, now this, you put anything you want. I am a big fan of copying and pasting everything from the supplier site and then just making it a little bit more personable, right? So with this, let's say you want to say something along the lines of your cruise voyage is included. All food activities and entertainment. Feel free to go to Carnival's website and just select a few things that are included in their cruise, and you could put it in this. Just for time's sake, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because it's something that you could do on your own. What's not included? Anything not listed. It's not included. Drink packages. Drink packages could be added. Once they have their confirmation number, they could go on the Carnival app with their confirmation number and add drink packages, add excursions, all of that good stuff. Now let's talk about the itinerary. This is really simple to copy and paste from the page. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our page. We may need to go back and find our booking. Yeah, we do need to go back and find our group. So we're going to go to manage our group. We're going to go ahead and plug in this is the old booking, the one that I just did. It's the same pricing, so that's fine. My code was 1234. This just protects it so no other agent is able to access your booking and cancel it or make any changes. So now let's click on the destination to get the itinerary to pop up. And then we're going to do this. Copy that. Go to our page. Keep formats. cancellation policy. Let's close that out. Let's go here. Let's go to cancellation. Can make your life really easy by just putting what the supplier has on their page exactly. And of course the insurance guidelines are going to be different from this cancellation policy, so you could go ahead and post it as well as an option, and I'm going to show you how to put it in there as an option as well. Now let's go ahead and just put some pretty pictures in here. Nothing really crazy. You could put pictures, you could put videos, you could put hyperlinks. So hyperlinks are a good idea to put stuff from Carnival's direct website. So maybe you want to put some information about travel documents in there. That's a good option to link as well, so they see the guidelines with that. Everything that they need, they have a link. Now don't worry about this picture being so small. As long as everything is towards the left of the screen, it's going to show up well on the mobile view. I think it's a good idea to add cabin types, because you don't want to assume that everyone knows what the different cabins are and what they mean. People be like, okay, what's the interior? I booked it because it's cheaper, but what do you mean it doesn't have a balcony? Doesn't all, cruise cabin have balconies? No. So don't assume. We're going to go ahead and do inside. No window. Set the expectation. So they see that before they even look at prices. Let's go ahead and put our other picture in. Again, don't worry about the size. It's going to all pop up on the mobile view in the right way. So ocean view. It's going to be a window. No balcony. And then one more picture. Now, if you created a really nice flyer for this group cruise, you could go ahead and put that flyer at the top of this page where that cruise picture is. You could put more pictures of like the destinations that they're going to stop on the itinerary. You could really make this pretty, like a website landing page. It's just based on what you have time for. Simplicity is good, but you could wow them with other things as well. Now, you also have the option, I'm not putting anything for balcony because I think that's self-explanatory and it's in the picture as well. Another good feature that I like on here is that you're able to highlight things and change colors. Can make this yellow. We could change the font really quick. I like putting things like cancellation policies and things that are not included in red. So things like that could pop out. Did it not turn red? It didn't turn red, y'all. So stop playing with me. Let's go ahead and make it red. Okay, it did turn red. Okay. All right, so now that's all I'm going to do with this description page. You could play around with this. You could reset fonts, make things a lot pretty, add more prettier pictures, really make it yours. Now let's go to pricing. This is one thing you do not want to mess up. So since we only did pricing for double occupancy, if you did pricing for solo up to quad or even 5 people up to 10 people, you could set it in here. We only did for pricing for 2, so we're going to make sure that 2 is the only number they could select. So that's the minimum and that's the maximum. But if I did have up to quad from solo, I'd keep this at 1 and put it up to 4 so they could select how many people are traveling. Now, booking setup. Travelers share the same dates. It's a cruise. Absolutely. They can't change it. They can't do less days. They can't do more days because it's a cruise. If you did have a hotel booking somewhere that's different, if you're doing like an all-inclusive package, you can do like different dates. You could do specific dates. Packages. This is the one thing that's mandatory that they have to select to be able to go to payment. So let's go ahead and select, do our interior cabin. Now, the description area, I'm not going to spend any time on that, but this is where you want to put any information about room specs. Anything special that's offered for interior only, go ahead and put it in here. Any special guidelines, like things that I mentioned, like the sole occupancy, paying double the deposit, you could put that in here as well so that they know that. Quantity limited, yes, because I only put 4 interior cabins. Let's put available until, it's going to be 2025, June 18th, it's when it's due. So let's just put June 1st is when it's available until. And you'll monitor this as you need to. Now the price, we're going to put the price per person, and that was $611.29. You're able to put other occupancy rates in here too. So let's say we had a triple occupancy price that was $400. You're going to select triple occupancy and put $400. And the same for quad and everything. So when they select interior room and how many people, it matches with the number that they're putting in. Now the deposit, if I remember correctly, was $150 per person. And you're also able to put this in per cabin or per room as well. For cruises, it makes sense unless it's Virgin Voyages. It's the only one that has the prices per cabin. But it makes sense to always do the deposit per person because you don't know how many people are going to be in any cabin at any specific time. Now, the due date for this was June 18th, 2025. But as a rule of thumb, as a travel agent, you never want to put the due date when it's the actual due date. You want to give yourself some leeway. And something's going on my computer right now, so I'm just going to type it in, I guess. So we're going to do June 6th. That gives a good 12 days between the actual due date, which is June 18th, just in case people need some extra time to pay. Whatever the case may be, you have that leeway. So they'll say, hey, I need some more time. I'm in a bind. You know, I'm having some hardship. You already know you have 12 days anyway. So you're going to go ahead and extend that time. Let them know the time is extended. And of course, I know they see it on the confirmation page, and that's okay. This is just, you know, having that extra cushion. Carnival, for the most part, can be very lenient with extensions, but it's solely up to their discretion, and they could deny it at any time for whatever reason. In my experience, I've been able to get cruises with 75 to 80% of the payment already made extended for 2 weeks. But I did have a situation where someone was on to that, and they declined it being and they had like a day before they had to make the payment before it was canceled. Okay, what I love about this is that I'm able to go ahead and hit duplicate. I don't have to go ahead and create that again. So I hit duplicate. Is duplicate not working today? Yeah, I know this is working because I literally just created this whole video again. But something was going on. Here we go. Okay, so now we're gonna do the ocean view. Same goes with the description. Add any room specs that you want to. The ocean view, we only had 2 cabins that we reserved. We're gonna keep all the dates the same, and then we're gonna change the pricing. The ocean view was $691.29. Deposit, everything, due date stay the same. Real quick and simple. We're going to do the same thing and duplicate again. Maybe not that one because that one seems to be malfunctioning. Okay, now we're going to do our balcony. So with these packages, you really only need to do the room type because you're able to add the different prices for each occupancy. So you do not have to create a different package for each occupancy. It's already embedded in there, which is awesome. We're going to change this to 4 because we have 4 balcony cabins on hold. Now let's go ahead and add in our price, which was $876.29. Everything stays the same. Save that. We're all set. Now you do have an extra options down here. Extra options is going to be things that are not mandatory that they're allowed to add on. That's going to be gratuities. That's going to be insurance. You literally could go through the birthing process, like you're going to pay for someone, and go ahead and click the insurance, see what that guideline is or how much it costs. I know with Carnival, the price for insurance is usually different based on the occupancy or room type. You need to go through that process to see what the insurance is going to cost. And I think it's also on the contract if you want to pull those numbers from there. Personally, I prefer to book it regularly and let everyone add on whatever they want to add on from the app online. And I'll just let them know how to do that. But you can put it in the extra options as an add-on, and you could get to decide, like, let's say the deposit is $150, and with some supplies, I know Vacation Express would be like, okay, if you add insurance of $50, you have to pay it with a deposit, so that would be $200 per person. With Carnival, you're able to pay the same $150 deposit, if I'm not mistaken, and just add the insurance on to the final payment. Now, before you go down here, you want to make sure that this says supplier, because remember the differences between direct and supplier. You want to add the monthly schedule. This is going to automatically generate a payment plan for each person. I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, we're going to move from the pricing to the traveler info. Now, if you're new to Travel Joy, you want to go ahead and check out my Travel Joy 101 video. And that's basically going to give you a breakdown of all the different forms and templates, how to edit the templates. That comes in here when you're looking to collect traveler info. 2 of the main forms that you use are inquiry forms and client profile forms. You don't need an inquiry form in this stage because you already have the group put together with pricing. You already know where they're going, all that good stuff. You don't need that information. What you need is a client intake form, or what's called a profile form. This is going to be all the information you need to get them booked. So you need to look at your supplier, go to the end of that last booking page to see what they're asking for that are mandatory to book. With Carnival, you need the person's first and last name as listed on their documents. The same way it's listed. You're going to need their date of birth. You could book with their phone number and their email, and it's going to ask for the state of residency as well. You need to have all of that on your client profile form. I already have a few. So what you do is, outside of doing this booking page, you have those forms in your template saved. So if I'm doing Grandma Lucy's, I already know, okay, I could go ahead and create a template intake form for Grandma Lucy's group and put it in here. So you see, I did I had a cruise for Janice. This is her intake cruise form for her group cruise, right? Any special questions I asked because of that group. Now, I do have a master that's just for cruises. So I have a cruise guest form right here. Now, this is going to be the form for primary travelers information. The reason why they have 2 spots for additional travelers is because sometimes the primary person is really the person you need the bulk of information from, and then you could just put a name and date of birth for maybe the other travelers. However, with a cruise, you need the same information for both, so we're going to select the cruise form for both, right? Now, if you're a new person and you did not create this template, you want to go ahead and create the template, or you could just select the client profile form that they have, the default one. I already updated mine so many times, so I don't have the default anymore. But it's going to look like this, where it says client profile default. And then you could just use that because that's going to ask for the same information as well. You just want to make sure that state stuff is on there as well. And you're all done. We could go ahead and publish because I feel like I don't have to check anything. Once you publish, Travel Joy is going to spit out this link in your face. And now I'm going to copy that because I never believe it's copied. And then let's go ahead and take a look at what we created. Once that loads, we're going to hit preview. And it's basically going to show us everything. I'm going to show you guys a few things to make sure that you search for before you send this out to your clients. Now, this is what it's going to look like on the desktop. And once you do it on the phone, it's going to look a little bit different. Everything's going to fall in line like a website. And you can test it out yourself by sending yourself the link. So you're going to see this and all the information that you put in, the different cabin types. Please make it a little bit prettier than this. I'm just doing this because it's a quick tutorial. But then they're able to see all of the cabins that are available, the pricing, and how many are available. The inventory, you could keep track of that as well. Then once they select which package they want, they're going to be able to enter their information, the people of their room, select if they want vacation protection or prepaid gratuities. This is something that I had to add to my cruise guest form, okay? So you want to make sure that you add this stuff in as well. Then they're going to be able to authorize a payment. So now they could opt to pay the deposit only, and then they'll pay their monthly plan. And this is why we book so far in advance, because somebody could be paying $30 per month for a cruise and, you know, pay off a $1,000, $3,000 cruise, which would not, you know, be possible in 6 months for some people. Or they could go ahead and authorize full payment. And then they're going to enter their card to authorize and sign. This is going to be, you know, your saving grace. If they try to charge back, you have everything here where they sign and agree to the above amounts to the T. That's why it's important. If this figure changes from $600 to $700 or to $500, you need to come in their invoice and change the figure to match what it is and have them reauthorize it. It may not ask them to enter the card again, but it'll ask them to sign again to say that they see the new figure, so you're able to download this PDF showing that they reauthorized the new price and basically track everything. I love TravelJoy because it's basically a huge paper trail of everything that you could download PDFs, and, you know, if you need to use it in your defense in any way. Now, what I want you to do is go ahead and select these as if you were going to book them yourself, and make sure that the pricing matches up with what it's supposed to be for each category, for each occupancy within each category. So if I choose the interior cabin, it means that this needs to show up as what, $1,300 over here. Okay, this is only the trial, so let's go ahead and do this. Pull up the actual link as if I was a client seeing this, and select book now. Oh, I don't know why it's not loading. It's maybe my internet bugging out again. But what I can do is pull up the one that I created. Still loading. Let's see if it loads. Let's pull up the one that I created before that I had to delete. Let's go back. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. I did not select the amount of travelers. Silly girl. Okay, so we're going to select 2. If I did put in 1 through 4, it would show. So now that I've selected the amount of travelers, it's multiplying the actual cost to show me that this is $1,200, and that's correct, right? Go ahead and select each one and make sure that it's multiplying the correct amount and the correct prices are listed. You don't want to have the incorrect prices, and then when you go to Carnival it's something different, then you have to go back to your client and let them know you undercharged them or overcharged or whatever the case may be. Overcharged, not really hard to deliver, but undercharges could be a lot because now they might be upset. And make sure that the deposit is reflecting, and it is, because it's $150 per person, and for 2 it's showing $300. Once they select that, they're going to be able to continue to traveler info. They'll enter their information and their additional traveler information. Then they'll be able to continue to payment. It won't let me because I have to fill out this stuff. But that's basically it, right? You create your group booking on Carnival, And you could do this with any supplier, and then you're going to go ahead and pull all the details that you need and create your TravelJoy booking page, and that's going to give you a landing page for you to go ahead and send the link out. So you send the link out and everyone's able to go ahead and book their trip. So you could go ahead now and make the payments on Carnival. An easier option to doing a group cruise without going through this whole process with creating a landing page and all that stuff is to do a cruise like Virgin Voyages that has an affiliate link. So what you do is you go ahead and find the cruise voyage that you want to sail on and go ahead and get your affiliate link and send it out to everyone. They can book themselves on Virgin Voyages website, and then you're going to be able to they're going to be able to book themselves. You're going to be able to register the booking without having to go through this process of putting together this page. And then you'll just go ahead and add them to your circle. That's what Virgin calls their groups, circles. I hope this helps someone be able to independently create their own Carnival group and create a landing page on TravelJoy. Don't forget to go ahead and use that TravelJoy link that I posted if you're new to TravelJoy to get 50% off your first 3 months and that 7-day free trial. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments so that everyone's able to benefit from what's being asked. Please don't inbox me or email me. If you do need a one-on-one coaching session, go ahead and click the link for coaching sessions to be able to set that up. Non-agents are able to have a 30-minute session that's paid. Agents on my team, meaning you are sponsored by me, you're able to have free one-on-one hour-long coaching sessions to get all of your questions answered or even walkthroughs to something like this. You guys have a great evening, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time.